to Emotional Mojo. So our next guests reveal the naked truth about what you are eating and how your lifestyle habits could unknowingly be sabotaging your health. Welcome the authors of Naked Calories, Jason and Mira Calton. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having
We want to know right off the bat, what are naked
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, food has two basic components, right? It has its calories, fats, and proteins. That's what we normally think about when we think of food, and those are what we call the macronutrients. We need them in a large quantity. But food also has another side. It's the micronutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, those essential fatty acids your doctor's always telling you to take more of. So whenever the vitamins and minerals and essential fats are somehow stripped away from the calories, we end up with naked calories. And that can happen in a lot of different ways.
So it's another word of saying like empty calories.
It's another way of saying empty
Yeah.
calories.
Naked just sounds better.
Are we doing that to our foods by the
Well,
way we prep them and eat them, or
A
is
lot
that
of
just
time it's processing. The difference between empty calories is everyone thinks that is just junk food. But actually, naked calories can be in really healthy foods, like your fruits and your vegetables.
Right.
We don't think about it, but when you ship your things across the country or from another country, every minute of every mile that your food travels, it's losing micronutrients.
And is that because of light and heat, that kind of thing?
Yeah,
or?
light, heat, and air. Right. Also, our food is grown in depleted soil now. Even according to the USDA's own statistics, for instance, an apple today has 98% less iron than it did 80 years ago.
98?
98. 50% less calcium. And it's the same for our chicken and beef as well.
Well, you guys were dissing my spinach.
I
And I love spinach, but you had something really interesting to say about that. What was that?
Absolutely. Spinach contains something called oxalic acid, and it's naturally occurring in spinach, and it's there mostly when it's raw. Now, the problem with oxalic acid is that oxalic acid actually makes it so it actually depletes you of your calcium and magnesium.
But you're not
Now-
saying stop eating spinach, though.
I'm saying that if you know that you are, say, a woman and have the possibility of osteoporosis, cook your spinach if you want to eat it, and have a
Really?
different kind of lettuce to have on your salad. I got advanced osteoporosis at the age of 30.
Wow.
And one of the things I was eating every single day was a spinach salad.
Well, I'm eating spinach every single day, so
Yeah,
yeah, that's
but
a
is that
problem.
something you can reverse, though? Were you able to reverse your diagnosis?
In 2 years. Yeah, I was diagnosed. I was
Wow.
bedridden. I had 80-year-old bone density. And that's why we became so interested in this love of micronutrients or your vitamins and minerals, because
So your approach is not necessarily for losing weight, it's more a medical approach to staying healthy.
Right, we're looking at creating something called a micronutrient sufficient state, or a sufficiency in your vitamins and minerals in order to prevent, and like Mira said, oftentimes reverse lifestyle health conditions.
Tara, you're very quiet. Our registered dietitian here is not saying much. What do you, I mean, does this sound like
Well,
something you've heard?
I mean, yes, there's oxalic acid in spinach, but it's gonna inhibit the absorption of calcium in the spinach. But it's not like if you're drinking milk that morning and you eat spinach for lunch, you're not gonna get the calcium that you got in your milk that morning. So I think
Gotcha.
it's a little
everything
bit
during that meal.
misleading.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's a very good point.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have this 3-step plan, right? And you say it helps to burn fat and stay healthy. Can you tell us about that?
sure, step one, switch to rich. And we don't
Switch
mean
to
like it's more
rich.
expensive. We're not talking about that. We're talking about foods that have more micronutrients in every bite.
Okay.
So more bang in every bite. Find things that are more densely rich of micronutrients. So for example, if you're going to choose eggs, choose an egg from a pastured chicken. That means the chicken was out plucking in the, like the chicken's supposed to be plucking around in the dirt and eating bugs. That's going to have a lot more micronutrients than the factory farmed egg.
Ah, interesting. Okay, so we pick rich.
Right.
Then what?
So then we try to drive down depletion. So we stop stealing and start healing. So we want to look at lifestyle factors that may be unknowingly be depleting you of those vitamins and minerals. So when we eat food, like what Mira said, rich food, that's the plus sign. So we're eating all these vitamins and minerals. But now we have to start to take into account what we're doing in our lifestyle that could be depleting them. Do we live in a big city? Are we stressed out? Do we drink alcohol on a regular basis? Now, we're not necessarily saying you have to change all these things. What we're looking for is awareness for the individual so they can see how many of these factors might be taking place in their life.
How
So
does a
to
big
minimize.
city affect it?
Well, pollution, for instance. Pollution can will cause depletion in your micronutrients because it causes you to have to run through these certain antioxidant micronutrients at a faster rate. Also smoking, even exercise. You know, exercise, we're big proponents of exercise, but remember that, you know, all those electrolytes that you see in those Gatorade commercials,
Yeah.
electrolytes are micronutrients too.
Okay, and then there's one more step. What's the last one?
Smart supplementation.
Okay.
There's been a lot of talk about supplements not being necessary, but the truth is, when diets are studied, they all fall extremely short in their essential micronutrients and the vitamins and minerals that they deliver. So just learning the ABCs, we call it the ABCs of optimal supplementation: absorption, beneficial quantities, and competition and synergy. We go through all of that in the book and tell you how to choose a properly formulated supplement for yourself so you're not wasting
We're
money.
not all doomed here.
No, it's simple 3 steps.
I was feeling that way for
I
a
really
second.
want to know, you went on a 6-year, 100-country tour.
Yeah.
And I want to know, what did you really did it so that you could learn what the diets were of some of these countries that we don't normally hear about. So what was like the number one thing you learned?
Well, the number one thing we learned was that micronutrient deficiency is really a cause of so many of the lifestyle diseases. You know, we wanted to get away from the medical journals telling us what was healthy and go and eat with and sit with and really observe what does a healthy diet look like in its natural element. And that's what we did all around the world. We studied remote, semi-remote, and urban areas, and that's the number one thing we came back with is once these indigenous people start to move away from their natural diet and into the more processed foods and into the foods that are stripped of those vital micronutrients, they started to develop the diseases that we're seeing so prevalent here today.
Wow, that is amazing. So you guys, if somebody wants to get more information, you have a really cool quiz they can take. What is that? Tell us about it.
We do. It's on the website. If they just go to Calton, Calton quiz.com, they can take a quick 50-question quiz. It's going to sort of talk about their lifestyle habits, what they're eating, how they're supplementing. It's going to give them a snapshot as to whether or not they are in a state where they could become deficient. And we want them to know now, because when they know now, they can make changes, become sufficient, and live happier, healthier, longer lives.
Wow. Jason and Mira Calton, thank you so much, you guys. Their book is Naked Calories. We're going to have you play a little game of yes, no with us. You want to
We'd
play?
love to.
Sure.
Let's have some fun here.
Okay.
All right. So this just in, wearing Spanx will help you squeeze into that tight dress, all right, but it will also quite literally squeeze your internal organs. This story is floating around the internet, the effects of shapewear. It couldn't do its job if it wasn't tight, right? But it also leaves your stomach, intestine, and colon compressed, and that can worsen acid reflux and heartburn. Your digestive tract is affected. You can become constipated. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Your circulation gets thrown off. But I gotta ask, would knowing this news keep you from wearing your Spanx? And it might be a little hard for you, Jason,
Yeah, it's
to
a
answer
little
this.
bit.
I knew it.
Never.
You knew it?
I already knew it.
Mira says yes, she will not wear Spanx anymore. We're talking all shapewear, not that
Shapewear,
brand.
yeah, we
Yes. What do you guys think about this? Are you surprised? I mean,
Oh, it's another reason that I don't sit down at a desk for a really long period
Right.
of time.
Yeah.
Because that also does the mere fact that you're sitting for long hours at a desk is the same thing. to
And that's
your
what I was going to say,
You
too.
need
If you're not
blood
wearing
flow.
it all day long,
Moderation.
that's a problem.
I've worn it once for
Use
my
moderation in your Spanx.
Well, I wore it once for my cousin's wedding, and I thought I was gonna pass out. Like I could not take a full breath. I'm like, that's it. I'd rather have some
Take it
lumps and
off.
bumps.
Better have fun at the wedding, I think.
Yeah. All right, check this out, you guys. Maybe in an effort to save some time and money, visitors at the Olympic Games in Sochi will be peeing in pairs in the men's bathroom. Take a look at this photo. A BBC reporter recently tweeted this picture from the men's room of the Olympic Biathlon Center. It's got so many people fired up. There's one roll of TP on
And
the
it's
wall.
way on the other side.
Oh my
Do
goodness.
you guys
Can you hand me
think
that, please?
this was a bad idea? Do you think this was a bad idea?
I think so.
Can I just play devil's advocate?
Yes, please.
You guys pee bumping elbows with each other. Why do you have a problem with
Yes, well, we do pee bumping elbows, but it's not like, you know, can you spare a square? You know, you're sitting there,
You better hurry into the bathroom and get the spot right by
Yeah.
the hole.
If you're just peeing, I don't have a problem with
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Now, you had an experience similar to this
When
once.
we were in China, there was actually a bathroom that was vertical. So basically, there was a top of the long way and a bottom, and you had to go one in front of the other.
You'd better
You
be
wanted
that.
to be the top person, let me tell you.
Thank you again, you guys. Jason and Mira Calton for joining us. The book is Naked Calories. Don't go anywhere. We have an amazing commercial. You got to see it. May have you rooting for the Seahawks at the Super Bowl. We'll explain coming up.